let's get into the WWE days. Now they finally bring you in, and who did they attach you with then? Because I can't remember.
With Jeff. Jeff had already been
okay.
over there.
Right.
And I remember when they called me, they said, well, don't tell anybody, and we're going to bring you in to be with Jeff. And so I kept it a secret, and then I showed up at, I think it was a pay-per-view in Chicago, and then on that Monday night, I think it was in Green Bay, was when the first time I walked out with Jeff. Shocked everybody.
Wow. So how did you like those days? Tell us about those days. What was good about them? What wasn't? Because WWE is so much different than WCW.
I actually like the WCW better.
Really? Why is that?
I thought I could be more creative, and I like being a heel. I don't know, my memories. I just had a lot of fun in the WCW days.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun, Deborah. You know that. You remember that time we was hanging out in Canada? Me, you, Steve, and a whole bunch. It was a few of us hanging out with Rick Martel. He was taking us to these places. Remember that?
Wait a minute, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was downtown. Hold on a second. Somebody's calling. Let's see if it's a fan. If it's not, I'm going to eat them like collard greens. Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray. Holla at your boy. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Stevie Ray. How you doing? This is Dave in New York.
Hey, what's going on, Dave? You got a question for Deborah?
Definitely. Deborah, first of all, I just want to say it's really good to see you on here. I have very fond memories of you in WWE, actually. And I wanted to ask you, what were your favorite memories working with Owen Hart?
We'll let you cut off and go back and listen. Let us say a piece, okay?
My pleasure.
Okay, Dave. What about that? What was your best memories of working with Owen Hart?
Owen was just funny. Like, he'd make you laugh all the time. And he would always play jokes on me, and, go to take a picture, and he'd say, hey, wait, let me take a picture with you and the fan. And he'll, take him 15 minutes to try to act like he's trying to work with the camera. And the whole you got the fans all draped on you, and you're trying to be nice, and Owen's just doing that just to take as long as possible. But I still remember funny things he would do, like wear different boots, see if anybody would notice, and or like an autograph session somewhere, he would. One time I did it, and he switched my glasses, and he put these raggedy glasses, and I didn't even notice I put them on when I was leaving, trying to be all cool, and they were these raggedy glasses, and I didn't even notice until we got to the car.
Unbelievable.
Funny,
Go ahead.
He was just fun, and funny, and just the nicest guy.
Yeah. I got the same sentiments about him also. I remember one time I went in the dressing room of a WWE show that was going on in town. So I went down, and I had my daughter with me. She was 2 years old at the time or something like that. So I go in the dressing room and holler at a bunch of the guys that I know. And he comes up and he starts like, hey, little girl, hey. And my daughter was jumped back away from him, get away from me. And then he goes, I bet if I was Brett, she wouldn't treat me like that. I was like, only this guy could come up with something like that, man. It was so funny, man. But he's always like that every time I met him, man. God rest his soul. He was a good dude, man. He was a good dude.
I won't forget, that was pretty traumatic that day when that happened in Kansas City.
Were you there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were. I remember that. I remember we flew in that day, and I remember at the back. I remember at the baggage claim, and he had his Michigan sweatsuit on. He'd always wear, and then I remember a couple of the guys got into a little confrontation at the baggage.
Okay.
And I remember we got over to Kansas City, and then I remember I was actually wrestling. I think it was whole bath. So they had actually had to separate me, Jeff, and Owen because I had to wrestle Nicole Bass and Jeff walked with me. And so then that was when Owen was going to do that skit where he came out of the top of the arena. Right. And I remember seeing him, walking by me on his way up there, and he had like a jumpsuit on that. He had that blue
blazer.
Yeah, he had that up underneath. It was like when he had like a what do you call it? If you're working in a show, you've got like a jumpsuit on. He had it.
Yeah.
That way, people would just think he was part of the ring crew or something.
Oh, okay.
And that's what he had on, and he was making his way to go and climb up there to do that. And then I remember Jeff and I were waiting they said, Owen fell. I think it was like 90 feet to his death. And Jeff and I were right there off screen because we were about to do a live interview. Mm-hmm. Boom, when that happened. And then they cut to us, and then I could still see Owen being, carried off on a stretcher. And then I just broke character then on the live interview. I couldn't, then it was very upsetting.
Oh,
and then stopped the show. I had to go out there with blood in the ring and a hole in the ring and wrestle.
Oh, wow.
They didn't, with Nicole Bass. It was, it was very traumatic.
I didn't see the pay-per-view because we were working that night in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I remember me and Dallas Page was wrestling for the WCW title that night. And someone came back and told us there had been an accident at you guys' show in Kansas City. But, back in those days, you always heard rumors because we didn't have all this fast information like we have now. And then some of it may be true and some of it wasn't. By this being so catastrophic, we like, somebody just trying to pull the grip, Mm-hmm. But then after we got through with everything, then it came back that, hey, it was true. I guess some people had been on the phone. And wow, I'll never forget the night. And I can't even remember house show nights because we did so many of them. But we were doing a house show. We weren't doing a pay-per-view. We were doing a house show. And I can remember this one as vividly as it was yesterday, man. And that's why I remember that, because of that night, man. But
I was already at WWE when you were still at WCW. Because
I had forgotten about that, actually. That's why I was asking about when did you go up there. Now I remember. Like I said, a lot of this stuff has to come back to me.